Hi, I'm Gary from Snow Patrol, and we're at the V Festival in Stafford. We just arrived from Belgium, and we were at Pukkelpop, and which is an amazing festival in Belgium. I can't remember the actual name of the place. It's in the middle of like a bunch of fields, you know, just like every festival should be, or is generally. Yeah, it's just a brilliant lineup, headed by Kraftwerk actually, but on the second stage the headliners were Deus, and I actually ended up singing with them, sang Hotel Lounge from Worst Case Scenario, which was an album I got when I first moved away from home to go to university, which is the first day at university was the day that Snow Patrol started, and that first year I bought Worst Case Scenario, so it had a big impact on me, a big impact on my life, and I got to sing that song last night. I was shitting myself before I went on stage. It was 3 hours between us and Deus, and for those 3 hours I didn't eat, or all I did was pace up and down listening to it on my headphones. That's a song I knew very, very well, but I just had to keep listening and listening and listening just to make sure that when I got up there I didn't make a complete hames of it. We're bringing an album out at the end of the year. Well, not the end of the year, probably sort of October time. A new single and a new album, kind of compendium of the last 15 years. It's been 15 years, you can't really call it a greatest hits because we've only had 2 of those. So it's like, it's just a look at the back catalogue that people might have missed, you know. We've had 2 Snow Patrol albums that didn't sell hardly anything, and 2 Reindeer Section albums that people might not have heard before, and we're sort of gathering it all together and putting it into one album that, you know, people can sort of have a we look at the kind of the last 15 years of our lives, and we can draw a line under it with a couple of new songs, and then we start fresh next year. I mean, the first 2 albums were heard by very few people, and Reindeer Section records weren't heard by hardly anybody, and you know, it's something that we've kind of wanted to do over the last few years, and then this sort of idea of putting it all together as a kind of a history, or a potted history, and then doing a tour around it in the UK, and we've called that the Rework Tour because it's literally what it is. We're going to rework the songs with strings and brass and crazy instruments, pump organs, and I don't know, football rattles. Probably not that many football rattles. We'll just sort of put a different slant on each of the songs, you know. So and let people hear live some songs they might never have heard, you know. It's best to be a fan of the band if you're going to come to this rework tour, rather than, you know, someone who's just poking their nose in for the first time, because I should really have said dipping their toe in, because poking your nose really means something else entirely. And we want to kind of start fresh, and this is kind of the perfect way of kind of starting fresh. And the single that's going to be coming out is called Just Say Yes, and it's going to take people by surprise, that's for sure. And it's kind of the start of, it's kind of the last, let's say it's the last sort of crazy shot of Snow Patrol to take us into the kind of the new start. You know, we're not going to call ourselves Snow Patrol Revamped or anything silly like that, but, and we're not going to go like all, you know, mad acid jazz techno or anything. But I think before we've made this new single, I think maybe we figured that we'd taken the guitar as far as we could possibly do, but I don't think that's true. I just think we needed a wee change, and a wee change means that we can come back fresh with the guitar and the keyboards and whatever the hell we want to do, a load of samples, and go Fatboy Slim on it. I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen next, but it's certainly nice to kind of be able to stretch your wings and just do whatever you want.